Who's there?
It doesn't matter because Sonic is fucking awful. Hi, everybody. I'm Connor. Welcome to the Phantom Zone.
Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Again. Look, Joe, that's what you get for consistently shitting on Rick and Morty all goddamn day. So there you go. Called you out on the show. What's up?
Wait. There's someone who loves Sonic but shits on Rick and Morty.
No,
Yeah.
Joe is a special person.
Joe is a top level who spends literally all day just posting like fucking like anti Rick and Morty memes. But I can't tell if he's serious half the time because like when I come at him like Sonic's terrible, he's like ha 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 ha.
Yeah, that's all Joe wants.
Basically, he's like, please troll me back. I'm like, all right, you asked for it. So I did. And I think he was happy about it today. Nobody else was. That's my thing. Introduce yourselves, and I'm going to get a little thing out.
This is Hunter Davenport, and I'm probably going to be in a Monster Hunter-induced coma in the next coming months, so that'll be fun.
This is Arlen Harrow, not dead, not yet.
Not yet. We're still alive, still kicking.
Alan.
Apparently.
Alan?
Oh.
Alan.
Wait, you're recording a podcast?
Oh, what a podcast.
Never change.
You're
Alan.
recording a podcast.
You
New York
record
City.
one of them podcasts on the internet thing?
Well, no, I
That
was
sounds
doing
here,
Clippy.
buddy.
Clippy?
I was doing Clippy. I was doing like
Are
Clippy's
you
voice.
recording a podcast? Need some help?
Would you need some help with that? Yeah,
Why Clippy Southern?
I don't know.
And our basically unofficial, official. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Eric. I'm here for the medicinal crack.
Oh,
Ignore the new man. There's no such thing.
Well, I don't know what he's talking about.
I have no idea what he's talking about. What?
that's not how you do crack. Wait, I said that out loud. Go on.
Okay, my thing on the Sonic thing is like, Joe should be the only person getting mad at me saying Sonic sucks. But I have people coming at me like, suck it, bro. Like, dude, Sonic is the fucking line. Like, Sonic the Hedgehog gets everybody's goat.
The game that teamed up with Hooters. That's what we're all. That's what we're all defending right now, right?
We were like, you responded like, Dark Souls sucks. I'm like, that doesn't hurt me because I know it's not true. And
It's
like,
like-
we have a 12-year gap of Sonic games that are fucking dreadful.
What if Dark Souls teamed up with Hooters? Anyways, that's enough of that.
Seems like
What if
every time.
Platinum teamed up with Hooters? What if Kamiya?
No. I'd be okay with that, but never mind. Let's talk about Preacher.
Yeah. Your season 2 wrapped up, everybody, and it wrapped up quite a while ago. We fell behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been busy
life
quitting
and
my job.
We
things.
turned 1 recently. Also, that also happened.
Yeah, hey, congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. We
Got fucking killed.
Yeah. Chris will be back someday, right?
Yeah.
probably.
Was in the store from getting milk.
Yeah. When he comes back from actually being in the Phantom Zone,
He
that's
went
what
to a farm where they make butter.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
fantastic.
Where he could run around with all the other Chris's.
No,
Damn it, you
honestly,
beat me to it.
He's just an angel, though.
Oh boy, we love you, Chris.
Free-range Chris, like a free-range Chris farm. Like,
Yes.
He's like Morty.
I'm just imagining. Oh my god! I'm just imagining. They're like LXG, 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 LXG. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. What?
It's bad.
Bad? Hi, Chris.
Like I said, we love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just fucking ripe for the shit taking.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mhm.
Preacher season 2 ended, and I barely remember it.
Yeah, I do too, because it was a very long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of the people
Well-
who do.
In your defense, though, it kind of went out on a whimper, honestly.
Yeah.
Like the beginning of the season was pretty good, and then it just started to have diminishing returns more and more with each episode.
Well, it got like it went really weird, but not in a way that was interesting.
Let's coin this term now. So it's sabotard.
No, it's not that. Okay, that would be cruel to put that label on it. No, like it went in a direction that was not fun.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, and I am being a little overzealous in saying it was all diminishing returns. Like it felt very in the last few episodes. Like it had a good episode, and then it had something that just felt painfully slow and filler, and then it had some interesting things in the next episode, and then repeat the process continually until you got to the end of the season.
Like, the Flash joke is actually a little bit kind of a little serious because like when Flash season 2 ended, we were kind of like, yeah, there was some kind of like there was diminishing returns, but then once season 3 ended, in retrospect, we're like, season 2 is actually pretty good when you think about it. So I don't know. We'll see the ages, I suppose.
I think season 1 ended really strong, so that like season 1 of Preacher like ends on a very high note,
and season 2 of Preacher starts on a super like ruckus, great time. Like the entire opening montage of them singing "Come On Eileen," the first episode, is fantastic. This song is shite.
And
that's what happened in real life.
The gun toting people at the hotel versus the Santa Killers.
Yeah.
Well, and just Tulip using a length of intestines to get gasoline for the car.
Yeah, and having blood in her face and not really being bothered by it.
Yeah,
yeah. But there's still some good stuff in there. I think.
There definitely is. There definitely is.
Like I thought all of the Jesus stuff, all of it was great.
It's not Jesus, it's Humperdoo.
Well, yeah, but even the stuff at the beginning with Jesus and how he's just like a douchey guy who likes to pick up chicks and uses like the cheesiest lines.
Yeah, it's kind of wonderful.
And it's like, oh god, he would be that. That's who Jesus was. It was all just an angle to get chicks or whatever.
Kind of like very Family Guy Jesus sketch.
I was about to say that, you motherfucker.
When he's fucking pretending to pull his thumb off, like.
Yeah, it's very similar to that, and like, yeah, what he says to her, he's like, "I love you," and she just doesn't know what to do about that. Like,
and I love how this is gonna seem messed up, but
it's fine. You're Jewish, so we're okay with whatever you say.
Yeah, he's allowed.
Yeah, he's allowed to have different opinions on this.
Well, I mean, you people killed him, so you can say whatever you want to say.
Okay.
No.
That's a dark joke.
We have finally crossed the line of blasphemy. It took us a while, didn't it, though?
All right, guys, well, that's been the Phantom Zone.
Phantom Zone.
The show is open now.
This will be my last appearance, so
the angels
thank
are
you all
knocking my
for
door.
having me
Coming
on.
to take me to hell right now.
Yep, it's over.
Those dark shadow things from Ghost, whatever.
Tyrus is at your... fuck, I forgot his name. Brodus Clay is at your door, ready to take you to hell.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Yeah, okay, Alan, you were trying to make a point. I'm sure it was good, so let's get to this.
I suppose.
I was just gonna compare two Jesus jokes on from Family Guy.
Oh, yeah. Who died?
It's very similar. It also reminded me a lot. I don't know.
No, just with Jesus and then Humperdoo.
Yeah, it's very similar. It is the same kind of joke, kind of.
No, like the sketch or the cutaway where the future Stewie went back in time to see Jesus, and he was just like da 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 da.
Yeah, that's what we meant earlier.
That's the exact joke I was referencing when he's fucking he's putting his hands behind his head and linking his fingers.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, wow.
I went back and saw Jesus.
Remember when Family Guy was funny?
Yeah.
Oh, what, you mean that first season that ever showed that they didn't go back to for years?
Here's what I'll say. I'll say this about Family Guy. For every one episode that was good throughout their entire run, there were episodes that were not. So,
I mean, I still I stand by that some Family Guy skits are funnier than others.
Hey,
yeah,
you want to hear a hot
he's
take
very
about Family Guy?
inconsistent.
You want to hear a hot take about Family Guy and The Simpsons?
Yes.
The crossover episode is the best episode from either series in a long time. Boom.
Holy shit.
And that's fair.
It is the best. It is hysterical.
I like And Then There Were Fewer quite a bit, but that's me because I like Agatha Christie shit. So yeah.
Preacher.
Preacher. Because we all remember this, and that's why we're. That's not why we're all.
That's why we're talking about Family Guy.
The problem is it's been almost a month.
The Jesus stuff is all that I can really remember, so that's why I went to that first because I know it's early on. But yeah, like the reveal of Purdue is fucking hilarious.
His name is Purdue.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like the show was actually more blasphemous than the comic was, because the comic, he was just this simple-minded, like, basically mongoloid that they had in the comic. Like, he didn't look at all like what you would expect Jesus to look like. So I feel like they went a step further in the TV show.
Right, by having him like the exact same actor, but he's like died.
He looks like a melted candle.
And he acts like a dog or something. Like, it's so good.
What was Airstar's line to them about the Messiah?
About him being agitated?
No. When they after when they decided to move on from Purdue.
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah.
The only thing I can remember is the comic where he says, like, son of man or son of God, you can't fuck your sister and expect anything good to come of it.
Oh, yeah, no, he does say that in the show at some point. And it's so good. Yeah, and so this is just interesting stuff. We get what I assume is like the founder of the Grail, that unnamed guy, who I just assumed was Judas, just because why not? He seems like a Judas-y guy. So that was cool. Like, the Grail starts off by killing a baby.
I just like you describe somebody as Judas-y.
Yeah,
I don't like that guy. He gives me kind of a bad vibe. He's kind of Judas-y.
Yeah. We should use that word more. Like,
hey, I invented a word today called Zuv. Oh, what? And it stands for a Zeus move.
Oh shit!
Which basically means to go put your dick where it doesn't belong.
Oh no!
Or, God damn it! Or a pile of gold, or a crab. Zeus would turn into anything and then fuck you.
Exactly. I was gonna say, turn yourself into a bull.
Turn into a duck at one point.
He did.
It was a goose, I thought, but close enough.
I don't know why all these women are like, oh my god, there's a bull in my room. I should.
Oh wait. Zeus has the same powers as Dracula.
What the fuck?
Can Dracula throw lightning? Is he Gwyn?
No, but Dracula can turn into mist, or a wolf, or a cat. He can turn into any animal that you
I just
want.
like that Zeus is like, I'm the god of all gods. I can literally cause natural disasters to my brain. I'm gonna turn into a chicken and fuck this woman. I don't understand. Greek mythology is fucking weird. Preacher.
It all comes back to Preacher. Yeah.
So that was, I think those are the biggest points of episode 10, honestly, where Humperdoo. Yeah.
Humperdoo is a big part of it. There's stuff going on with, what's his face, the Dennis, who becomes progressively less interesting as the show goes on.
I forgot. I think it was episode 12. Yeah, it must have been episode 12 or 13, or the finale. But what happens to him, I just happy with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really sad to see William Hartnell die like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like William Hartnell at all.
He looks okay. Okay, Alan, go look up a picture of William Hartnell.
Alan said it stink too. He doesn't look like him at all.
He's like, no, he looks kind of like him. He has like the exact same facial shape. Yeah, no, he looks a lot like William Hartnell, Alan. Jesus.
Oh, it was this the episode that you found out that the Grail were the ones who pulled the Saint out of the swamp, or was that episode 11?
It's one of the later episodes. So I guess that's the next thing I can remember is you find out that the Saint has somehow escaped, and then you find out the Grail got him out.
And put a similar type of armored van.
Yeah, because they
put the exact same thing in. Yeah, because they own that company.
And then they seemed also like the hospitals nearby also. But yeah, they did that, and because he was in a soul removing truck, they removed Jesse's soul from him.
Yeah,
so
the 1%. Yeah.
I love that this is the show where you can say things like soul removing truck.
Yeah. Japanese soul removing truck. That's not a album song or song name. Yeah.
They also continued to have Featherstone become a bigger part of the series by having her and whatever her fake character's name is and Tulip become better friends. Julie,
I did like that subplot a lot, actually. I liked the way that she played that, and like how she'd leave the room that Tulip was in and suddenly just be so angry that she has to spend time with Tulip.
Mm-hmm.
But when she is in the same room as her, she's just like the sweetest person. Yeah, I liked a lot.
Well, and they hint at some of the stuff how she wants to do whatever for Hairstar, like that, but that might have been a few episodes ago when he was had the mistake that Hoover pulled, and just hired the male prostitutes.
Mm-hmm.
I just loved Hoover's line, "I'm sorry, sir." About what? About the men.
He's like, "It's okay, I've blocked it out. Don't worry about it." So good. Yeah. Also, I love that we sort of learn more about the Saint's weapons because she finds those, and we realize that they're indestructible. Which is
especially
cool.
the scene with the saber going through the mailbox.
Yeah.
And and she can't use the guns either because she tries to shoot them.
And she tries to load them also. Okay. So I'm watching on super fast forward right now. The show is on in the background. So this is something that's interesting.
One way to absorb it.
Yeah, well, it's reminding me of stuff. So we do get this episode where we're learning a lot about his grandma through the episodes, the last few episodes, and that's so fine. But the way that she was trying to convince him to change his name or to acknowledge her name, that was interesting. I did like that. Again, there are little threads that they had in between all the stuff that kind of got boring. And that thread was interesting.
Well, I mean, that's what I think the third season is going to focus almost exclusively on is him dealing with his past, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the end of the season is just them going back to Grandma's house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so can we talk about the conflict between Jesse and Tulip and how dumb I think it is? I think it gets so silly.
Are you referring to the love triangle stuff?
Well, no, the stuff where she's angry at him for lying about the Saint, and it's like, yeah, I get it. I get being angry about it, but he had no idea that the Saint would ever come back. As far as he knew, it was no different. Trapping him in the bottom of the bog and sending him to hell didn't seem different from each other to him. So her getting so upset with him just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know.
This is where I feel like they made a big misstep for the pacing, at least the relationship between Jesse and Tulip in the show as opposed to the comic. Having them jump back into a relationship so early in the second season, just it's led to issues like this later where it feels like it's kind of slowed down. In the comic, it wasn't until well into, actually the very end of the story with his grandmother that they finally got back together, and it felt well deserved because of a lot of the things that went on during that.
Well, also, like, it makes you dizzy. Like, it's kind of like the more insufferable CW romantic subplots that kind of come and go as they please.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah,
where it's so stop and go. You're like, fucking do something with this, or don't do anything at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Half the time it doesn't feel like they're even in a relationship, or it's just that it doesn't have any type of play for the entire larger aspect of the show.
Yeah. It's there because someone's like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Or, just to have it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like we're all super
present,
thrilled.
It's present in other shows we do watch, so it is something. And like, there's no problem with romance in any of these shows or any show in general, but like, you have to do it in a way that doesn't make it irritating.
It has to be done right. Like,
yes.
you can't just throw it in.
I bring up the Flash. How long did it take for Iris to become sufferable?
Yeah, true. Also, they didn't know what to do in the first season.
Exactly.
Even then, it was just like, that seems more like a CW problem, where it's
that's a CW-wide problem. And that's people who tell me, like, I don't watch The Flash, it's on CW, or I don't watch Arrow or Legends, it's on CW. It's all romantic crap. I'm like, no, but okay. I mean,
yeah, like, when the only show that does have that is Supernatural, and even then it's, like, family stuff.
That's the show that probably needs it the most because everybody pines over those fucking two.
Yeah, and Wincest, ew.
Well, if I was about to say, if you'd like to see some fan fiction, there's actually a lot of romance going on.
God damn it, Eric. God damn it.
Yes, fan fiction.
Oh, our favorite things as a group.
Sonic fan base.
I'll use an example from a show that's it's a similar show. It's similar. So the show True Blood. It was a good show. It went up and down though. Towards the end, it got really, really bad. But there's a season where there's a romance between two of the main characters throughout the show, and that romance really made sense, and it really added to everything else that was going on, and it worked, and it didn't slow down the plot. That's how a romance should be. It should accelerate things or add to them. It should not make things insufferable.
Well, was it something that felt earned and
it did feel earned. Like it was like,
was it Bill and Sookie or was it Eric and Sookie?
It was Eric and Sookie.
Yeah, that one's much better.
Yeah, that romance felt so much more Sookie. Felt so much more earned and believable than Bill and Sookie.
And was it the season where Eric had amnesia?
It's the season of Texas. Or whatever. And
Godric.
And they take on that cult that kills vampires or whatever. It's weird. But yeah, like that season works, and the romance is natural, and it grows naturally, and you really, by the end of it, believe that they like each other. And that's something that I think Preacher is like, okay, we have to get them back to the point where they were all in love and they wanted to have kids or whatever. It's like, they wouldn't be back there yet. They would still kind of be getting used to each other again. So
yeah, exactly. They'd be feeling each other out at this point.
For people listening who were like, "Why are you talking about True Blood?" What's her Nora from True Blood was in season 1 of Preacher? Bam, 6 degrees.
Oh,
Kevin Bacon.
I didn't even realize that. But also, like, they are the vibe of both shows is very similar.
Yeah, they're kind of similar shows. You could probably do an entire watching block of True Blood, Preacher, because it's hard.
Yeah,
Southern Gothic type of thing.
Isn't True Blood also based on a book?
The book and the show are much different.
Their tones, though, the tones of both shows are so similar.
Yes, they are. Very dingy, southern, country-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in
and
peace,
just the sense of humor is very similar in both. Yeah. Like True Blood, as much as I dislike some later seasons, they would go for the joke, and when they went for it hard, it hit, and it usually worked, even in really bad episodes or bad seasons. So that was a thing. But yeah, we just keep on talking about other things because. The hell stuff kind of goes back and forth, I think. Like, sometimes it's interesting.
I don't remember most of this show because when I was watching it, like, it's it's been a rough couple of weeks, but I will say that from the beginning of the show, like the beginning of the second season is probably the strongest. Like of the two, like I think the first season is kind of like it fumbles a little bit. I think in the beginning.
Denounce him, Jesse Custer.
But it seems like the second half of this season just feels like it's dragging on a little bit. And
yeah, especially this last fourth, like, because I thought it kind of dragged in that like 5 to 8, or no, what is it? I can't remember which episodes we've done, but
I think for me it was around episode like 5 is when it started to drag for me.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle
of
of
that
the
area.
season. There's a clear. I can't exactly remember where, but there's a point where the show season kind of busts in half.
Yeah,
I think it's.
I do think it picked up a little though, and then it slowed down again.
It's kind of like Luke Cage, where it's like at some point in Luke Cage, you're like,
after
this
what
is
happened,
getting a little silly.
You mean after Cottonmouth goes away?
Well, that starts it, and then like I feel like as soon as Diamondback becomes a larger presence, you're like,
because of Power Ranger villain.
When he shows up in his fucking, god damn it,
Pimp
his fucking
Stormtrooper?
his super suit.
He looks like the Shocker.
As I said, Pimp Stormtrooper.
Oh man.
With this season of Preacher, I feel like the exact point that it started down the diminishing returns, for me at least, was the episode directly after the Grail tried to attack the apartment they were in.
Yeah,
like that was the last big exciting episode, and then there were elements of the episodes after that were cool at points. But
now, this isn't to say that any of us think the show got bad. Just not as good as the initial run.
No, like I said, I still had a good time with the show. Like I think it's a good show. But
we're all gonna watch season 3.
Preacher on low points is still better than most of what is on TV.
It's better than Flash season 3.
I mean, that's not hard.
The shit I'm going to take after eating these fried chicken wings in about an hour is better than Flash season 3. Okay. It's true, all of it.
I was like, the tail end of season 2 of Preacher was trying really hard to dump a lot of lore.
Yeah, it feels like they're rushing to get to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I feel like they shouldn't have done that.
I'm not far enough into the trades to know where this is going, but like after this season, my knowledge of this show, the Preacher property stops here pretty much. So like where they're going, I don't know, but it seems like they're rushing to it.
Probably the next book series I'm going to move on to as soon as I'm done with Incorruptible.
Yeah,
which will probably be by tomorrow because I'm burning through Incorruptible real fast. Mostly because I'm doing other things. Like my lunch finished today, and I went back upstairs and was like, "No, a couple more pages."
Do you do the same thing? Do you do the same thing I do, where you bring a backpack every day to work, where it's like filled with stuff? Okay, good.
It's my laptop where I read everything.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Now I look like a fucking jackass because, hey everybody, my computer busted because Windows Update came along and fucked it all up. I can't use my mouse pad, so I have to bring a wired mouse with me everywhere now.
Connor, I have a question.
Me and Connor are in a club now. We're starting this motorcycle gang. People without mouse pads.
It's called the Up 10 Up Yours Club.
Yep.
Connor, I have a question for you about Incorruptible.
Yes.
Or what did you think? What did you think, moment? What did you think of the point where Max goes straight?
Let's talk about this after Preacher.
Okay.
I want to talk a little bit about Redeemer when we're done with Preacher.
Yeah.
Because I think it's one, people have asked us to talk more about comics, and I think this is a really good chance to do it. So we'll save that for when we're done with Preacher.
Mark Waid wrote both books.
Yeah. Yeah. But we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll answer that question though. But yeah, where are we with Preacher here?
I don't know.
All over the place.
Let's talk about Hell.
Can I just
as
say
one
something?
Subject, I guess. Yeah, sure.
You motherfucker, Hitler! You goddamn motherfucker!
I mean, it's fucking Hitler. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like that doesn't need to be said.
This was the Scorpion and the Fox just writ large, essentially.
Yeah, kind
or
of.
as
I do like that Hitler gets to save the day, bizarrely, but
Yeah.
And then just be an asshole.
yeah.
Or as Eugene said, shit.
Well, I mean, I think if I was a genocidal despot and I was trying to get out of hell he wasn't initially trying to, but he realized he could take his way out. You get out, you're out of hell after having been there for however long, and then you realize, wait, do I want to spend the rest of my time on planet Earth again with this asshole that shot himself, or, oh no, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he books it immediately.
Yeah.
And gets hit by a car. Bam.
Yeah. That was...
And then pushes
like
over
that.
a cripple.
It's so good.
And then disappears into an alley.
Wait,
Yeah.
does he push over a cripple in hell to fuck with what's-his-face?
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
What a piece
God
of
damn
shit.
it.
And he pushes that nun just
That's why he's a piece of shit. But yeah, like I love the hell stuff. Though, like I love her being like, God's dead. The rules are different now.
Yeah.
She shoots death.
Oh, that was the other thing. You finally find out what Hitler's worst day was, and was it because he couldn't get plum cake? Was
No,
that
it's because he didn't stand up for himself. It was.
I interpreted it as him not getting plum cake.
That
I'm gonna
too.
stick
Well,
with,
because-
I'm gonna stick with Eric's interpretation only.
Well, that's because everyone kept yelling at him like that.
I'm just imagining Hitler in the back of my head, like, "Wo ist deinem plum cake?"
And
I speak a very small bit of German, by the way.
That's good to know.
A very tiny bit. Even
I'm
though
not
I took 2 years in high
Rusted.
school.
Yeah.
Don't! Don't actually
Trade car. No kidding. Those are the only two I remember, so I can't do anything.
Somebody who the fuck? Somebody sent that to me in Saraha, and I'm convinced it was Arlen.
No, I sent you. What did I send you? I sent you a couple things. I can't remember what I sent you.
Yeah, I think it was probably Isaiah's.
Because I sent Hunter. What did I send Hunter? It was like a either or situation, and Hunter just was.
I
didn't
still
go with it.
have not figured out who sent me. I want to put cigarettes out in your butt.
That's still the best response.
guys, we have to finish Preacher.
Yeah, but we don't want to because we don't remember shit.
It's,
We're doing this out of obligation to our craft
Yeah.
here, but problem is I haven't had time to rewatch it, so I'm going off memories of something that I watched 3 weeks ago
Yeah,
that
so I'm trying
apparently
to
we're
bring
all
it in
kind of
order.
nonplussed with.
Mm-hmm. So hell, I guess. Like anything else from Hell that stands out? Because
I just like their visual representation of hell. It's not
Yeah.
fire and brimstone. It's this
Yeah.
cruddy fucking prison setting that everyone's just in these cold, clammy cells.
Mhm.
And it's fucking bureaucratic and stupid.
yeah.
And that's where they send
Hell has rules.
and wrestlers.
Yeah. I love creative interpretations of hell.
Mhm.
I don't like
I mean,
just
I think even though the game is bad, Dante's Inferno is like one of my favorite. And like,
yeah, and I think we even gave the Spawn movie credit because like their idea of hell is like this just fucking never-ending inferno of like I just hate fire and brimstone, but that's like it's this incomprehensible like labyrinth of floating islands of just rock and shit.
Mhm.
Cool as shit looking, but
Yeah,
if
like,
you
I
you
think
go in the opposite direction, you get something like this in Preacher, where it's just this weird kind of standstilly, calm but miserable interpretation of hell.
What was
Well, that, and I think they had to interpret hell that way because they didn't have the budget to make it all fire
Right.
and brimstone.
Yeah.
It's just like interpreting the Speed Force as your own internal mental prison, as opposed to a big giant swirling massive energy.
Yeah, it's very similar.
yeah,
which episode or what was the name of the guy from the real antagonist in Spawn?
Oh, boy.
Albosia.
Yeah, I was just gonna say to Connor. Do you remember when he showed up in Dark Souls 2?
You've stumped me here.
Yeah, give Connor some time to look it up.
Iron Keep.
It's more like a bro. Let's be real.
but like,
Yeah.
I think Preacher, it's a very weird place for an interesting version of hell. But like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I just like it's really good. Like
Yeah, and I like.
No, I'm all for cheap but efficient ways to get around filming something lavish.
oh yeah,
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And I love when he goes in the hole again.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it's a mascot. They suggest that the mascot raped him as a child.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's so fucked up.
Now, the thing that's even more messed up is, was the guy who was in the mascot costume raped him, or was it that he was actually raped by the guy in the mascot costume while he was wearing the mascot costume?
I think it's while he was wearing the mascot
This show
costume.
is so fucked up. I love it.
It's so
So
good.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Wait, which episodes?
So this is like episode 12, and Eugene is in the hole again. And,
It's the way to get to the back door out of hell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the hole, it does a different thing every single time, so it takes the situation and it just exaggerates. So second time around, a mascot shows up.
I lost it when his dad showed up.
His dad's arse-faced, yeah.
No,
like
it's he said something to Eugene that he never actually got to say on when he was alive.
Yeah.
Let me
Is there
see if
any
I can
other...
remember.
Oh, season 1 maybe? I don't know if that was actually... Here's the thing, I don't think that was actually Eugene's dad. I mean, it might have been.
No. It was a manifestation of the. It was part of the quote unquote test to
Right.
trick everything.
Yeah, I don't remember what the
Well,
thing was
that
that he
and-
couldn't take back, though.
Well, that and Eugene has no way of knowing that
What happened to
everyone in
Angel?
his town is dead. Yeah, like he's
Yeah,
been in
that's
hell
true.
since the first season. So
Oh, that's very true. Yeah, Eugene's been very removed from everything, quite literally.
He
So-
even mentioned
Yeah.
his dad in the finale. He
I
said,
imagine that's how he becomes relevant, because he probably has to go looking for Jesse after he realizes the town is dead.
And that's,
yeah,
like we did say, there's, season spin turns, but I think that's probably an interesting factor going into season 3. There's a character who's plucked from somewhere where he was basically not part of what's going on, and all of a sudden, he's being reintroduced.
Yeah.
where
yeah.
were they dropped off?
It
Who
seemed
knows?
like the same place that the Angel Without a Partner
Fury.
ended up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like the same place, or at least, I mean, maybe all bus stops.
Wherever
It
they
also
end
looked
up,
the same.
it's a motel, like I said, the Motel the Man Dog, and they go into the bathroom, doesn't he?
Well,
That's
no.
the very end of
That's the end of the
Yeah,
last
where
episode.
Eugene, where Eugene gets dropped off.
Oh,
No,
okay.
yeah.
Because if you notice from season, or from both season 1 and the backstory on Fury, the locations look very different.
Right. I'm just saying the bus stops look the same to me.
Yeah,
So-
it looked like the exact same place Walter White was waiting for his pickup at the end of Breaking
Right.
Bad. So yeah,
It might just be a situation where they're filming most of this in New Mexico because it's
Yeah,
cheap.
so it's probably
So-
all really the same few city blocks, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like they filmed Walking Dead, probably the same, fucking,
they filmed
general
that.
area.
They filmed Fear of the Walking Dead in New Mexico at this point. I know that because they can't shoot in LA anymore. And I
That's a
guess
bad
that show is in. I guess it's in Mexico now.
At this
I'm not-
point, I think it's
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
Who
don't
the
sure.
know.
fuck cares
I-
about that piece of shit right now?
Gosh,
apparently enough
Thanks,
people to
Al.
get it fucking renewed.
it keeps on airing. I mean, here's the thing. So, Walking Dead, I think it still makes 10 million a week. Fear of the Walking Dead, even if it only makes half that, that's still amazing.
That's still 5 million.
Yeah. For a
It's
cable
how
network.
we keep asking how Gotham keeps getting renewed. There's enough people watching it for it to get renewed. Although I hear season 4's premiere shit the bed.
Premiered?
Well, because
I
it
think
has
so, yeah.
it has a little boy dressed up like a
Like
No,
a
what's
fucking gimp.
like a
Soup.
gimp. Yeah,
yeah any other like specific like moments from hell that are interesting, because so we can like move on to a different
subject.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we move on to
the Saint or something? Anything really?
Well, I mean, connecting to hell. I mean, I guess with the Saint would be.
Oh
the
yeah,
best
we never mentioned that they came back for him and.
We didn't really talk about what he did after they done it. So
he went and got a drink.
Yeah, and that was interesting. And we keep on seeing flashbacks to old time
to Radwater.
Yeah, and it's interesting that his memories of it are his memories from hell, not his actual memories. And that's a cool little detail that I really liked.
And they also I forgot what the warden's name was.
Yeah.
She threatened to he did something out of love.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically sacrificed himself himself by going back to hell, so his daughter or wife wouldn't have to. And
that's the only reason he doesn't like kill Jesse or whatever. I think I can't remember.
And he says, "I'll say and I want to have a word."
That was something that I was kind of angry didn't pay off by the end of this season, because you don't need to show Satan, because they do technically show us God for a second, but like you could do a similar thing that you did with God with Satan and like give us like a hint of him and how like maybe it's the same thing, but you open a door and it's like a red light or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think they could even just have a view that's just all the Saint, and there's like a desk that you can see part of, and it's him just talking at Satan and whatever, some sort of deep baritone voice responding. But yeah,
we haven't seen Satan in the show yet, have we?
No,
we haven't.
Okay.
Well, Satan didn't even take that big a part in the comic, so I don't know how big a part he's going to play in this show.
What's interesting, considering like the entire, the overall religious connotations of the show, and then of the series and the show.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even I mentioned Spawn, but even Spawn didn't have Satan, person.
Right.
They had Malbolgia.
It had a beast,
which is their version of Satan, sort of. The Saint, but the Saint stuff.
I do not want to do that fucking episode for the game hour on Spawn. God, kill me now.
Arlen's gonna be on that show, and it's gonna be a fucking hoot.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk all about the level where you fight Malbolgia.
And the thing is, I still have to play it, because if not, I wasted money.
You really don't need to play it. I told you could just look up YouTube clips, because they are there.
And it looks like shit, and I still have to play it though, because
it's the greatest.
Damn it, Alan, you don't have to play it.
I bought it. I have to play it.
Oh God.
Oh.
Well, you'll be the person who's played it.
Now's the perfect time to bring this up, but before the show started tonight, Alan dropped a bomb on us that almost had him in the shit. It almost had him in the shit house for quite a while.
Yeah.
For weeks, I'm going to buy Inhuman Season 1. And literally all of us, Chris, Eric, I think even Ed, Chloe, Hunter, Arlen, Mark, Andrew, fucking Isaiah, other people outside of this pod, like, Alan, don't fucking do it.
Those people didn't say anything to me.
They have said stuff to us.
Their silence speaks volumes. They don't say anything. They're on our side.
They said to you.
I know they're on our side.
Yeah. We're like, hey, don't do it. And then every week, Alan's like, I think I might do it. And it's seriously been like talking to someone and saying, hey, this pot is hot. Don't touch it. And then watch just slowly stick their finger towards it.
What was one you said? Your example?
It's my example was it's a man selling deathly hot, dangerous, unhealthy peppers.
No.
Will like put you in the...
You said something like this is harder. Whole thing is harder to kick than drug.
No, this has been harder than convincing my friends to become sober, years ago. That, and I also said it's like Alan runs to a man who's selling the world's deadliest peppers, and Alan's like, give me all your peppers. And the man's like, look, you should only eat one pepper at a time. You shouldn't consume all these peppers at once because you don't know what it'll do to your body. And Alan's like, shut up and give me the peppers.
And then he just sticks them all in his mouth and rubs his hands all over his face.
He sticks his hands up balls and everything.
And he's like, why are my eyes burning?
The guy's like,
why did no one tell me of this outcome?
And then before the show starts, Alan sends us a screen cap of basically a purchased entire set of Inhumans episodes.
No,
and all
but there's a laughter before he sent it to us.
Alan lost his mind.
He just types LOL and sends us this picture as if he's just
LOL.
mad.
Yeah, it's like, it was so... What? Did you murder a man? What did you do?
I mean,
I done killed a man and stole his Inhumans episodes. But then he confessed that we thought he bought it, and we all just kind of gave it for a few minutes.
Yeah, we were all very
Apparently
angry.
He revealed that he bought it with a gifted iTunes gift card, and then he redeemed himself.
Yeah,
Having
That's not
better. That's not better
spent,
at all.
I spent more on Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Right, but here's the thing: you could have used that money to get like an album, or
I could use that money to go buy like 7 bottles of Dr. Pepper, and I still would have felt better about that decision.
well, like specifically if it's an iTunes gift card.
Or could have taken that money and went and bought some hot peppers.
Right, but like anything, an app, but anything,
A
like,
phone case.
again, like I get it,
Like-
iTunes gift cards, like
He could have bought all the Sonic the Hedgehog soundtracks.
right,
Yeah, and then killed yourself.
yeah, but like no, the first 2 episodes of the Inhumans,
Which I watched, by the way. Apparently, Hunter, you watched the first whole episode?
I watched 3 minutes of the first episode.
I
had
made
to
it to
tap out.
15 minutes in episode 1 and had laughed at least 4 things.
As
Specifically, they're fucking rinky-dink looking that look like they were ripped out of the Hamlet episode of MST3K, where it's just a bunch of like plain-ass structures and people standing around them. It looks like a bad stage play.
As soon as Maximus opened his mouth, I let out an audible gasp. So I was like, "Oh, oh no!"
Every time someone's like, "We are Inhumans," I'm like, "I fucking know." The show is called Inhumans.
I mean,
telling
it's
me
like
what y'all are.
The thing that just made me facepalm was when they basically introduced Ulysses from Civil War II.
Did they? Wait, did they?
No, they just put in the kid Brenna Joja, whatever the fuck his name was. It was a weird name.
Say it again.
No.
oh god. Point is,
Maximus touches him. He has a seizure
bad.
and says, "They have you against the wall, or they have you. They have the snakes around your throat, and push you and have you against the wall." And every single everything he says to Maximus regarding what he saw, after it happens, Maximus says exactly what he just repeats the prediction.
right.
And when
Does Maximus see a bird sometime after this?
No.
flying-
Because you see a very bad.
they're on the moon,
CGI
goddamn.
eagle.
Okay, Alan, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna make fucking Iron Fist jokes.
Does one of the
Okay.
Inhumans keep saying, I am whatever their title
Well,
is?
From the
am
sound of it, they
Inhumans.
keep on saying we are the Inhumans, and like
That's
I'm
true.
surprised that there's not like flashbacks or whatever to one of
No,
their
there's-
moms
dude,
dying.
One of the first pieces of dialogue in the Inhumans episode is, "We are the Inhumans." I'm
You know
not
what?
kidding.
That's appropriate for the first episode.
But it's this.
Once.
It's in a conversation. It's someone's like, "Oh, something happened. I'm a freak," and he's like, "No, you're one of us. We are the Inhumans."
Well,
That's, okay, that's appropriate.
But the delivery is absolute shit.
Okay.
the thing is, that's the episode title.
well, it's like if you got like 10 minutes into Narcos and Pablo Escobar was like, "We are Narcos." It's like really? Is that where we are?
This is completely off topic, but it's on the line. But anybody see the fourth Crow?
Oh God, no!
At some point in the movie, Danny Trejo is in this movie, and he consistently refers. Edward Furlong is the title character, by the way.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, this was the one with Eddie Furlong. All right.
Yes, and it's very in the movie. Danny Trejo consistently refers to him as the Crow. He's like, it's the Crow. The Crow.
That's how you should refer to him.
The Crow.
The Crow. I love it.
I think we're finished with your.
I don't.
Well, let's all do like final thoughts, and then
I liked Preacher. I just hope season 3 comes up. It starts with as big of a bang as season 2 did, and I hope it maintains that throughout.
Yeah, my thought name is Connor. I just hope it picks momentum back up.
Yeah,
it's good shit. It's generally speaking, it's good shit.
I'm worried they're going to
stay weird. That's what I would say.
I'm worried they're going to pull Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And slash the budget?
No. Keep a character.
Or you're worried they're going to deviate so hard that it's something entirely different.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of that, and having a certain character live on longer than they did in the comics.
Yeah, that's a very valid concern. Because
I don't know.
The show and the comic of Walking Dead so far, like when you're reading the comic and trying to watch along the show, you're like, this pacing is all weird because this person should have been dead episodes ago, or at least a season ago.
Shane.
Exactly, Shane. Morgan. Like, why is Morgan still kicking the show for some reason?
Because it hasn't been enough. Like he after the first.
Because he's not in the same place as another black man. Well, wait, is he? He's with what's his face?
He's with Cyborg.
Is the priest still there?
Yeah.
Is that priest?
Yeah, but they're rarely in the same spot. But when they do, shit's gonna hit the fan.
Yeah, the priest is gonna die, and then
one of them's gonna get hit with like a fucking chandelier, or a wall's gonna fall on him, and someone's gonna be like, "The Doom copy."
And the priest will be like, "There's no Teen Wolf for me to go back to," and then I'll be sad.
No. The trailer for Walking Dead season 8 has him in a room in a dark with not the governor.
I know this. I'm angry about it still. That he wasn't in Teen Wolf season whatever it was more. God damn it.
English, good. I don't know.
Arlen does words good.
For me with Preacher, like, I'm really hoping season 3 they have a single storyline that they're trying to tell, at least for this particular season, and not try and tell 15 different parts of tinier stories.
That is a very good constructive criticism.
Yeah, I think
that's my biggest problem with season 2 is that after about episode 6 or 7, they just decided, hey, we've got all these other plot lines we want to develop. Let's put them all in every episode going forward.
Yeah, like giving our 3 main characters, giving them subplots is fine. Like giving Tulip her own plot is fine, and giving Cassidy his own plot is fine. But like it diverges into like, is every other character on this show doing, and what do they want out of life? And you can't support a 13-episode show with that.
Yeah.
It becomes impossible unless you're gonna Game of Thrones and like you're really like filling in the gaps and like leaving certain characters in the wayside to pick them up later. But this isn't that show. This is like a goofy show about hunting down God or whatever. So.
And the main thrust, I mean, at least from the comic, like from where they're at this point, would just be Tulip, Cassidy, and Jesse, and then Hair Star. And that should really be the main people that are the thrust of the story. Like, the Saint of Killers comes into play much later, but they've already established him as a much bigger character in the series than he was in the comics. So
in the comics he shows up
concerned.
In what, issue 2?
He's in the first episode, or first issue, if I remember correctly.
No, but that he's a threat to Jesse and all that. And
but in the same sense.
In the first issue, he's in. That's when DeBlanc and Fior go to hell to.
Well, they don't even go to hell to get him in the comic, but that's neither here nor there. They diverge so wildly from the comic; it's pointless. So. Yeah.
But I trust Rogan, I trust Goldberg, I trust Catelyn.
Yeah. And like, give us more.
This show is not in bad hands.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
It's not Inhumans.
Like, give us more moments like that on Girl Fight, or the fight from the first season where the angels just keep on coming back.
Yep.
And
Yes.
they have to keep on killing them, and it's like by the time they're done, there's a whole hotel room full of dead alien bodies. Like, do interesting stuff like that,
Or
keep
do
keep
something
it weird.
Or do something similar to the way the first season ended with that female angel walking after everything up and her just a bullet exploding through her chest
Mm-hmm.
or exploding through her back going through her chest
Yeah.
with the Santa Killer tease.
Yeah, and also like, so something that the first season has, it's one of the things that it has over season 2 is it has like a real adversary throughout that whole season who never really stops being an adversary. Even when you think he is, he's always doing what he is doing, and you don't always need to have a full-on just like a bad guy, but having some sort of central focus who is not like her star where he's like constantly changing and like one moment he's on Jesse's side, the next moment he isn't. Have a character who's like, no, I'm trying to destroy you. And this
Her
show
star is also still too mysterious
changes.
right now to be like the villain.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
if you're gonna have the Saint be the thing that they have to defeat during the season, make it the Saint. You can still have
Yeah,
her
'cause that's
star.
fine. It's a physical threat, and like a physical threat is good to keep running from. It keeps the action moving,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's
And
something you can't fucking kill.
Yeah, and it would have made the season move a lot faster
Yeah.
if they hadn't gotten rid of the Saint. And that's the stuff that I think, like, it slows down until the Saint shows back up. And then
Well,
when
and
he
that's-
showed back up, it sped up.
Well, my counterpoint to that is when they got the Saint into the bog or whatever, then keep him there for the rest of the season and don't bring him back in. And that goes back to what I said before, is that they were just trying to do too many things with the amount of time they had.
Yeah, if you're going to fridge the Saint until, like, the finale. Like,
Yeah, make
that's
people
when you
forget
bring
about
him
him.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That
then
way when
in
he
the
comes
finale,
back, oh
comes in.
fuck.
And you
Yeah.
like end the show with like a battle with
Yeah.
the Saint.
It's my complaint that, you know, what Injustice 2 brought Joker right back. He's not alive, but they made him a playable character. I'm like, we don't need him.
No.
Like, let him be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a while, at least.
Grant McTavish needs work.
Who hasn't given any like final thoughts on this season? Anyone?
I think we good.
Yeah. Unless Alan has something real quick that he can tell us, or quick thought.
I sure wonder how they're gonna get out of the problem they're in right now.
Well, based on the fact that we saw a chicken resurrected, I think it's. Although that is something that's weird. So as that one, I was rewatching the episode with like young Jesse, and the weird like Forrest Gump references that come out of nowhere. Like you see his shoes, you see what he's wearing. There's like a box of chocolates under his chair. He's running through like a field in the south, and it looks exactly like the field where Forrest is running away from like bullies. So yeah, weird Forrest Gump feels that I got. It was like, is that intentional or is that just an accident? I don't know.
Oh, see, I totally just got he was wearing like a Southern preacher outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't get a Forrest Gump feel. I mean, I didn't even notice the box of chocolates underneath. So maybe it was a little bit of both.
Yeah. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. Yeah. What was the other stuff that we wanted to talk about? Like,
Well, Alan brought that question earlier, and we can divert into this, because now you did express interest in this before the show, so I guess now is a good time to talk about it. We've been asked to talk about comics more, and guess what? I got something we can talk about.
Mark Waid and Peter Cross's Irredeemable.
Yes, I was looking for something to read about 2 days ago, and for some reason...
Please tell me this is something you stumbled upon rather than...
No, I knew about it previously. It's been on like that, like the list in the back of my head of like, you need to read this. And I was like, I want to fucking read something, because I'm in the in between like Flash, Batman. Injustice 2 is dragging.
Yeah. If you want another Mark Waid suggestion, pick up his Bond.
Really?
Because it's fucking great. And
it is pretty good.
And this someone said that Boom Comics is like doing cool shit.
Yeah, Boom Comics is doing some shit.
Because what they did is, instead of doing the show, or I mean not the show, the movies, they went back to the books.
Yeah.
And anybody who's about the books knows that those books are fucking brutal. Like there's like
everything I've been told about the books is that everything you think about James Bond is turned up to about 20 in the books.
So the comic kind of like finds this like balance in between that. And the way that James like kills people in the books at times is surprising. He breaks a guy's jaw with his gun. And you see it all. It's pretty great. So
Warren Ellis did the first 12 issues of the Bond comic.
Yeah.
If I remember.
Was I confusing them? I don't know. Yeah.
Well, there's a Dynamite series.
I was confusing Wade and Ellis. I don't know why.
I've known Demo for a long time. Someone brought it up on several different shows, looking for something to read, and it just popped in my head. I was like, I haven't read Demo yet. And just dove in knowing only like, oh, it's a story about like, it's what if Superman went bad. That is such a surface level summary. It's not even funny. This is not okay. Injustice is what's
kind of.
I mean, I didn't say anything. I mean, come on.
This is not bad. This is what Superman was fucking great to begin with, and was actually an insecure, pathetic little man who had superpowers from birth and grew up to be this like kind of wormy, self-centered, insecure, sadistic, rotten human being through and through, who hid it all beneath this like veil of goodness. And then one day, after like he fucks up, basically, this character called Plutonian. He fucks up in a way to the point where he's like, I'm killing everybody.
Well,
this sounds a lot like Invincible.
He kills millions of people.
He does.
There's a scene, or there's
he sinks an entire country underwater,
yes.
like at one point.
Singapore.
Yep.
There's a...
I don't want to give away. One says he's going to read this. Also, Ed says he wants to read this, so I don't want to spoil the book on the show. But
I just wanted this. So I don't know who here has actually read Invincible, because I haven't actually read it. I just know the basic plot. I want to know which should read. Should I read this or that? Because they sound so similar that I'm not reading both. I'm not doing that though.
Irredeemable is, I mean, it's a actual series that's finished at this point, so that might be your better starting point. Invincible is still going.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Irredeemable, Incorruptible.
No, they're sister books basically, because Incorruptible takes place next to Irredeemable.
Yeah,
or during.
It's basically what with the Irredeemable. It's what if Superman.
What if the most heroic man on the planet turned evil, and Incorruptible is like, what if his arch nemesis actually was like, holy shit, look at what's happening, like I need to turn over a new leaf.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of interesting because it sounds like just like but like this other character, Max Damage from Incorruptible, is like, he watches Plutonian destroy the first city, and he's like, dude, nothing else matters. He's like, that's it. He's like, I'm a bad person. He's like, but I don't want the world to end. He's like, that's disgusting to me. But Irredeemable starts off as like, what if Superman turned bad? And then it goes way beyond that. It goes places. It gets cosmic. It gets cerebral. It plays with like lots of stuff you're familiar with. It plays with like Cosmic Marvel and Cosmic DC. It plays on like some of the more less superpowery, more techie characters from Watchmen, like Ozzy, like fucking Owl. It's pulling from so much there, but it somehow maintains its own singular identity. It's astounding. I couldn't stop reading it. Like I was doing other things while reading it. It's on my laptop, and I was like, this other thing can wait. I have to finish this. Held my attention the whole time, and I plowed right into Incorruptible.
There's a. Are you done yet with Incorruptible?
No, I'm still working on it. I've barely.
When you finish, there's a 12-issue maxi series that Pierre Tomasi, Keith Champagne did, called The Mighty.
Okay.
And it's a similar super, like, good gone bad type thing.
Okay.
And
it's an interesting premise, but like it's, like we said, there's the
thing is, it's DC published it. it does not exist in any universe, and I think they still have not put out a complete edition.
I'll have to look into that too.
It is really good.
And that's what drew me to this, because everyone who brought this up was like, no, Irredeemable is fantastic. And for years I was like, I'll get to it. And started it, and was, like I said earlier, going into it, I was like, yeah, I've read Injustice. I know what this is about. And Injustice is like, I give that series shit all the time, even though I like it because it's fucking grimdark and I like to kill off popular characters, not because it's fun to read or because it makes the story flow, for shock value, and that's basically it. Like, there was no reason to burn Martian Manhunter to death, okay? There really wasn't.
Nope.
And then have him just unceremoniously disposed of, like, whilst being burned to death and then never being mentioned again. There was no reason for Nightwing to die the goofiest death in the history of comic books.
Oh, falling on a rock?
They come good.
Yeah, he did.
And it's designed just for, like, oh my god, look who died. And Irredeemable is, they do things that are much more, it's simple, the effects are traumatizing. Plutonian does things that are fucking horrific.
Yeah.
And his villain, when he was a good guy, they play off Joker and Batman. His villain is this guy named Modius, who's like a super smart, he's a brain villain. He's just like, the smartest man in the world. But it's kind of revealed that, like, Modius knows how to beat Plutonian because he knows everything about him, because he studies him, because he's actually factually in love with him.
Yeah,
and it's super, super weird, but it's captivating.
Also, one of the other things, once Plutonian goes bad, the remaining Justice League-esque group they're trying to find Modius.
Yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on.
Yeah, the amount of, in I'm going to keep bringing Injustice because it is the most
popular. There's a guy that's basically Hawkman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for all intents and purposes, of course. But, the amount of immoral shit that these people attempt to do to take down Plutonian, there's no limit. They keep pushing the boundary after every attempt to stop him. To the point where they're breaking the laws of nature.
Yeah.
And at some point, they almost get this. Because the character, Gil, I think he's thousands of years old, and he might even be an angel, I think is what it is. And, he's been around since the Garden of Eden. And, one of his solutions later on is, well, we're going to fucking crack open the Tree of Life, and we're going to make everybody immortal. That way Plutonian can't do shit here.
Gil, that's Hawkman, right?
Yes.
Like I said, it's been a while since I've read
they summon demons from different dimensions who are ready to wipe out humanity at a moment's notice. They're like, take care of Plutonium. And he's like, okay, and then I'm going to kill you all. I think at some point they attempt to they release these entities. I'm not going to say who they are or what they are, but in doing so, they cause a serious global catastrophe that has a potential to kill 3 million people or something like that, or a third of the world's population. Just to stop Plutonian. By the end of the series, it's the ending, which I will not give away because the ending is incredibly satisfying, especially if you're into the idea of what if Superman went bad, and all the Superman comparisons, because the ending is such a weird loop around back to that idea, and I wasn't ready for it, and it actually took me a few reads to really understand what's happening. Because they don't come out and say it, obviously, but they do a very strong wink and a nod, hey, this is where this is going.
Do you know how they teased this back before the series was announced and launched?
No.
There were people with signs and stickers and stuff that said Mark Waid is evil.
Oh!
So that's
okay. That explains why Plutonian, one of the covers is him sitting on his throne, reading a book that says Mark Waid is evil.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And right away, the first cover, I think, of the series was Plutonian sitting on his throne, and his hands are so soaked in blood that his armrests are now soaked in blood as well.
Oh, would it be as we said where his Fortress of Solitude is?
No, it's in a fucking lava. It's in a fucking volcano.
Yeah. That's some good
he can
shit.
get to. Because he's indestructible, and like basically like as powerful as you think Superman is, Plutonian can do virtually anything. Like he evolves with the story, like he becomes telepathic. He gets
Franklin
faster, he
Richards.
gets stronger. Yeah, he's ridiculous. But I think it's established that like his powers it's actually mind over matter. That his abilities are not strictly physical, like they come from something where it's like he doesn't shoot heat vision. The direction in which he's looking will actually heat up the molecules in front of his eyes and create heat.
There's a specific scene or page in the book where with a plane and his Plutonian's he's hearing.
Oh yes, like he can hear. Like Superman, he can hear every heartbeat, but like as opposed to using it to like monitor the Earth, Plutonian uses it to spy on people.
No, I'm talking about what like people who were bad mouthing before he turned bad.
Oh yeah. So basically, it's established before he turns bad. He spends a lot of time. Well, that goes into what I was saying. He spends a lot of time like just listening and gathering information on people. And these people are people who are close to him, like fucking super friends. And like the story basically opens up with him. It's one of his like non-superpowered friends like running back home, like telling his wife, like he's like it's over. He's like Plutonian snapped. He's like he's coming for all of us. That's for the Watchmen thing. Someone's killing off superheroes.
Someone's killing off masks.
Except in this case, it'd be like if Dr. Manhattan was like, you know what, everybody's gotta die.
Oh, you mean Rebirth?
We'll get there. Stop it.
Or Marvel Legacy?
But
there's something I just posted in the chat that I think all of you would be interested in seeing. It's Mark Waid apparently has always wanted to mess around with what would happen if a supervillain won. He did a series called Empire back in 2000 that was basically a Doom-esque villain having defeated all of the superheroes.
I guarantee you Hunter's ears just pricked up.
I'm looking at this right now.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, it wasn't that long, but it was pretty good from what I remember of it.
Collected, do you know?
I believe so. Let me take a look.
And you know what's funny? In reading this, I start to see more of the complaints. I'm not going to call them complaints now. I start to understand more of the issues people have with the modernization of Superman of Steel and Batman vs. Superman and Injustice. People are like, I don't like this. And it's because they're given a Superman who is supposed to be this beacon of hope, who is supposed to be inflappable and incorruptible, and they make him flaky, unreliable, and violent.
Well,
and that's everything that Plutonian is, and Plutonian is like something you can't rally behind at all. He is disgusting.
Yeah.
When Mark Waid was writing The Flash back, like a day before all this, or more than like 10, 15 years after he finished his run on Flash, like his Flash run and his run on Irredeemable are very biographical.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
would you say his Daredevil run is also?
Say.
What was that?
No, I'm just saying I don't think it's so much that would be considered biographical.
I'm messing with you, but no, like his Daredevil run is very. I've only read like the San Francisco stuff, but
his Daredevil run was a nice change of form from what was going on because I mean it followed right after the Brubaker and the Bendis runs, which were very dark.
And like the first section of the first kind of like story they tell, like makes out with some dude's bride.
Yeah.
Like, so like.
Oh, is this like fucking Edgelord Daredevil?
No.
No.
This is
fun.
He's a playboy.
Yeah.
Right. Like
don't make him Batman. Yeah.
No. The idea is man whore. It's always been that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Oh
like.
wait, is this more like when I saw that panel of out of context panel where him slapping Scarlet, what's it called, Black Widow in the ass, and he's like, "Now go get into something more comfortable."
Oh,
Yeah.
I
think so. Yeah.
Super uncomfortable.
there's one
that
thing.
sounds very 70s Daredevil.
There's one thing from Wade's Daredevil run that I loved.
Mm-hmm.
It was just very low-key stuff with dealing with Foggy.
Yeah. Everything he did in it. Well, again, all the San Francisco stuff is brilliant.
Well, no, this is before that.
That's the thing. That's all I've read. But I
there's like a thing where it mentions that Foggy is a band.
Of course, Foggy.
What?
Yeah.
But
here's the thing. I buy that.
That's not from a comic book, I don't think, though.
No, it is.
Is it really? Was he in a ska band?
That's a very Wade joke.
If I don't get Foggy as in a ska band in Daredevil season 3, I'm gonna fucking throw my television across the room.
I feel like they made a reference to that in the show.
They did.
I feel like they did. Like, there's a flashback of him in college, and like, there's something about ska. It's something from the first season where like it's the same episode where they're like, you and that Greek chick or whatever.
Yes.
I think so. I can't remember. I haven't seen season 1 in so long.
The problem is everyone was so distracted by the Electro reference that they just forgot what Foggy said.
Yeah.
Also, the problem I'm having right now, like, I'm reading the Charles Soule run that's going on right now with Marvel. The Daredevil Back in Black.
Yeah.
It's going back. It's very like regressive towards the.
That's what I've heard.
The Brubaker and Bendis stuff.
Let's just call it Miller style. let's just be honest. Anytime we're doing Daredevil and he's like dark and gritty, you're doing Miller Daredevil. That's what you do.
I'm glad you mentioned Miller because this actually ties back into Irredeemable. A long time ago, in my like when I was like young adolescence, I fell out of comic books, and I was out of it for a long time. And back in New Jersey, like, arguably I had a really fucking rough time in my life. Like, I was like, I need something that really makes me happy, so I started trying to get back into comics. And for years, I was like, you gotta read Dark Knight Returns. I was like, okay. And I've always kind of interested by the design of Batman in that book. And I read it, and like that, boom, I was back into comics in a moment's notice. Irredeemable was like rediscovering the entire medium over again. Like, my enthusiasm for it was at an all-time peak. Was at a new peak, anyway, reading this book the last few days. It's really, really, really good, and I'm glad that, like, I talked about it to people, and they're like, no, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think Irredeemable, like, it's very good, and I think it where I'm going with this, basically, Connor, is I want you to read Miracle Man, because Miracle Man is really
No, actually,
good.
that was the next.
Yes.
Recently, I saw you guys talking about it in the Phantom Zone group chat in the page. I was like, okay, maybe Miracle Man is the next thing I have to go to.
You should.
I don't know anything about it, but I didn't know anything really much about Irredeemable except the
which
basic
version?
Premise.
Which run? Alan Moore or
the Alan Moore?
The Alan Moore run is the only one worth it at this point.
Yes.
Isn't it like impossible to track down? Or is
No,
it?
because they've been
they
re-releasing
re-released it.
Yeah.
They
I thought there was
I'll find it. I will fucking find it.
Yeah,
they've been re-releasing colored, or no, maybe it's not colored, but they've been individual issues.
Yeah.
Over the last few years, like
there's also
remastered issues.
hardcovers and trades that collect like 6 issues apiece. Yeah, there was a huge legal quagmire that they had to deal with because of a whole Neil Gaiman being involved and Todd McFarlane having the right to it and all this other crazy stuff.
Wait a minute. I've seen... Okay. I'm aware of this comic now that I'm looking at it, like the cover.
Yeah, it was...
And it's very evocative of Irredeemable.
It's also...
Or maybe Irredeemable is evocative of Miracle Man.
And Miracle Man was Alan Moore's take on Captain Marvel.
Yeah, on Shazam. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not calling him that. I'm calling him Captain Marvel. I almost said Shazam.
It's Shazam.
It's Shazam, okay?
It's Shazam.
It's Shazam.
If it's DC, it's Shazam.
It's Shazam. Yeah. We can't have 2 Captain Marvels on 2 opposing comic book universes, please.
I don't acknowledge that Captain Marvel.
What do you mean you don't acknowledge Carol Danvers?
I still think she's an asshole for Civil War 2.
That doesn't mean that you can't acknowledge the character.
That's not even. Like,
The character still exists.
Yes.
Captain Marvel still exists.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Dead, but he exists.
I prefer.
Alan, I'm gonna come through the computer and beat you up.
Look, unlike Carol Danvers, I prefer Marvel.
No, okay. I am one of the biggest Civil 2 naysayers, and even I'm like, I don't understand this character too much outside of this comic, but I can tell you right now, this is not how she behaves outside of this fucking wretched story.
Yeah.
And I had tons of people back that up. Even Steph even bet up the fucking Harrow chat. She was like, "No, that's not how Carol behaves at all in any story outside of Civil War 2." They said she's a fucking manic idiot in Civil War 2. She's written like a doofus in Civil War 2.
That's because Bendis is a hack.
Shut up. No, he's not good at events. Fight me, anybody that disagrees with me. He's great when he's writing characters that he actually likes and that he actually cares about, and when he only has to focus on one or two characters.
Secret Invade.
Exactly. But if you read Alias, it's fucking like it was written like yesterday.
His run on Daredevil is phenomenal. His entire run on New Avengers was amazing. Like,
I'm not cool with calling people a hack unless they have like a 15 to 20 year long career of fucks like Uwe Boll.
Yeah.
You really tried not to say Rob Liefeld there, didn't you? You really had to struggle not to say Rob Liefeld.
Well,
Rob Liefeld.
Rob Liefeld gave us fucking Deadpool, and Deadpool,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, but Rob Liefeld's version of Deadpool was just the design. It was Fabian Nizetta and Joe Kelly who gave us the Deadpool that you know now.
It was like Rob Liefeld also gave us he gave us Deadpool, but you look at it and it's like he also gave us fucking Ultra Peck Captain America that doesn't make any goddamn sense. So,
quick question, Eric, about Irredeemable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on In-Stock Trades. Hey, In-Stock Trades, want to sponsor us?
Okay.
It's never gonna happen.
How it works out.
Do you have the Premiere Edition hardcovers?
I'll make it happen.
No, I don't own any Irredeemable. I read it when I was taking it out of my local library at the time when I didn't know about In-Stock Trades.
And I'm so glad I did that way. And I wish I could read. I wish I almost read this on a page as opposed to my laptop, as opposed to digitally.
I would probably pick this up from somewhere if they have it, especially if a library has it.
It's very good, and I know you've kind of fallen out of reading for a while, but I think this is so off the beat how you may actually enjoy it.
Well, because I want to read The Pulse first, because that's just been sitting there looking at me for months.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's more Jessica Jones, but I get the feeling it's not.
It's not the Jessica Jones you want. It's
not. Yeah, it's not Alias. Okay.
No, that's
what I thought.
It's Jessica Jones in the regular Marvel universe, not the Max Marvel universe.
I still want to read
Max
it.
is kind of like in a regular Marvel universe. Max exists with no superhumans, basically, right?
Kind of.
Yeah. And the powers are back. And what I love about Alias is
Werewolf by Night was in Max, and he was a full werewolf, if I remember correctly.
Hunter.
Max. I mean, let's put it in very simple terms. Max ups that they could show violence and have swearing.
Yeah. And it's also where you could do a whole issue that's just about a girl who's a runaway, and how she hates her town, her small town.
The Punisher Max series is also something that I got really into. It took me forever to finish because it's meaty as fuck. It's wordy and detailed, but the Punisher Max series, I was like, this is the most grounded Punisher I've ever seen.
You know what my favorite Punisher Max story is when that dude pees on his family's grave.
Oh god! And then the next shot is that big full-page panel of the most pissed-off Frank Castle I've ever seen in my whole life. It was so good. I took a picture of it on my phone. I'm like, this is
great.
Can you send that to me, by the way?
I'll find
the best part of the panels before that is mid burger bite.
It's it's people around the bar kind of realizing who's around them, and it's on this news, and the guy's like, "Hey Punisher, we just pissed on your family," and I think you see other panels of people what the fuck?
Just
who the fuck
reaction
does that?
shots.
They have what they just did, and it just cuts to Frank Castle, burger down, no speech bubble, and every crease in his face is over detailed. And the anger in his eyes is palpable. It's
was
so
it
great.
Was it Steve Dillon Punisher?
I don't know. I don't remember this at all.
Kind of look where he's got like lots of like pock marks, and I'm gonna look it up right fucking now.
Also, Arlen, there's a Irredeemable digital omnibus.
Huh.
like
I like
$39
reading
on Amazon.
I do like reading this stuff in paper. There's a lot of stuff I have to catch up on. I still have to catch up on Archie. I just bought Moonshine
Holy
and
shit!
Paper
I found
Girls,
it right away.
and I
Send
need
it to the
catch
group
up on
chat.
some other
I'm
stuff.
going to.
And I need to catch up on Black
Like,
Monday.
Oh, how
Like,
is Black Monday? I've been wanting to read that.
I read the first issue.
Wait,
like,
Black Monday
came
murders?
out. Yeah, and it was great, and I just dropped
Yeah,
by.
no, that's
Told you. Look at that fucking picture.
that's not Dylan
He's
at
so
all.
angry.
Look at like
It's like tainted.
the scar details on his face, like like his cheekbones sinking, and actually the way they draw his face, the cheekbones are popping out so much, he looks like the Punisher skull design.
He does.
Yeah.
Rad, and like he's drawn all beefy and shit. And it looks like it's raining in the background, even though he's just in a black bar, like it's just this like dim ass bar.
Punisher Max is really good.
Well,
Like-
the artist is there, Leandro Ferreira.
Yeah, it's
It says. I don't know.
that was the thing. Like the Punisher Max, like there wasn't a whole lot of Dylan until Aaron did it actually, which is the end of the Punisher Max run, which is phenomenal. I'm rereading the omnibus of that right now. It's
Really,
go ahead.
really nice. The Punisher Max is about the art specifically.
Scott
is
Hanna.
that he ages in real time.
Yes.
He ages in real time, which is really interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Same
it
thing
seems
with,
like 'cause when I
same
first
thing
read
with
it,
Hellblazer.
it seemed like the thing with Micro happened at the end because they draw him looking really fucking haggard in the beginning. He looks like shit in the first run with Micro. Then he kind of it looks like he gets a little younger. I think they kind of scaled it back, but then like yeah, he does get. You see a passage of time, and like he does get older, and he's talking about stuff that happened in previous issues where he's like, dude, my body's a fucking mess.
Yeah, that plays a lot into the storyline.
Yes,
from
with
the Max.
Barracuda, because like Barracuda, like it, seemingly unkillable Barracuda.
Barracuda, who?
Since we're talking about the Punisher, remind me, did we talk about the trailer?
Let's do it
No,
right
I don't
now.
think we did.
Can we please talk
Okay.
about it right now?
Just
That's
real
so
quick
good.
though. For anyone in the group who said like who backed me up, like saying, "Hey, I started reading your Redeem," when they were like, "No, it's fucking good, finish it." Thanks for the continued recommendation and like encouraging me to finish it. Anybody who has this, fucking read it, please do. It's very
good.
very good. Now the Punisher trailer was tits.
It's the best.
Oh my god.
Like it
Now,
starts.
here's
it
my
starts
thing.
so.
Does it fucking
slow.
retcon Daredevil season 2?
No, it doesn't retcon anything because that was a dream sequence.
Okay.
But like though, it's like this slow version of one, and I'm like, that's one.
Yeah.
That's fucking one.
Yeah.
And then it just it's
with
hits you.
it's and the percussion is all gunshots, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's so
God,
cool.
it's so good.
And they made him look scary as far as a military tactician goes. Like they John Wicked him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like he's not spray and praying. Like you see him moving through smoke and picking his shots carefully. They also make it very clear Frank Castle's not a good man.
No,
Mhm.
He
not.
is not a good man. He never has been. But he's the kind of not good man you want on your side,
Mhm.
and you don't want to piss him off.
I think like the best part about the marketing for this the show is there was another like teaser trailer release where he's like in the woods like hunting down Marines.
Yeah.
And
Say what?
He's got like a GoPro on.
yeah, he's got like a girl on. And he's like, it is. Oh man, you
you're
just
talking about
watch them. And
the traps and stuff.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
he's like
Like
going
at first-
Rambo on.
At first, I did not watch the trailer because I didn't want to be.
it's not spoiler because like,
Yeah, you're
it
not
doesn't
gonna
tell
get
you anything.
Well, no, because I'm halfway. I'm like a few episodes, three to 5 episodes left with Daredevil season 2.
Yeah, but like these trailers, it's so far removed from Daredevil season 2, like it doesn't spoil.
Oh.
It's like, hey, the Punisher exists,
Yeah,
and he's the
All you-
Punisher.
Also,
yeah,
that fucking the skull on his suit looks so fucking cool.
it really does. It looks so great.
I'm gonna come out and say it. I don't think there's been a bad. Well, no, I think there's been one bad, the Dolph Lundgren one. I don't think there's been a truly bad Punisher adaptation yet.
Yeah, well, based
is-
off what you guys have said, Warzone is apparently great. I haven't actually.
Warzone.
seen
Okay, here's the
full
thing.
movie.
Warzone. If you're going to see like I want to go see a movie.
It's not. No.
It's laughable.
Yeah.
But the problem,
laughable.
on the other side of that, on the silver lining is it's laughable because it's fucking ridiculous. And the director, whose name I can't remember, I never remember, and it sucks.
Lexi Alexander.
She is very candid about how she made this movie. She's like, I've never done that fucking comic book movie before. She's like, give me the comic. She's like, just take what I see in the books and put it on screen. She's like, that's it. Yeah. She's like, this is super violent and it's ridiculous. She's like, I'll just do that.
Yeah. My favorite story is that Freddie Prinze Jr. wanted to play what's his face with the
Jigsaw.
Yeah, and they wouldn't even, she's like, they're like, wow, he did really good. She's like, yeah, he did. They go, but we can't cast him, and they just walked away. She's like, what do you mean? And she never got an answer.
Which is a dick move.
He'd be a really good Jigsaw.
But here's the thing, though. What's his face? Billy West.
Yeah.
Billy West dominates that movie as Jigsaw. He is. To say he's eating scenery is an understatement. Like, he's eating the movie for dinner.
Yeah.
Every scene he's in, he is dominating every inch of the screen. His accent is his New York accent. Nobody speaks the way he does. Nobody in existence speaks the way that Jigsaw does.
There is a part in the movie where he's like giving a speech in front of the American flag.
He's doing a full-on patent speech to a bunch of gangs.
It's not Billy West. It's Dominic West, by the way.
Dominic West. There we go.
Billy West
did the voice of Stimpy.
There we go.
Yeah. And Fry.
Yeah. Yes.
And Skeet.
I still think the Tom Jane Punisher is very good. I think it's sorely underrated.
Have you seen the short film?
Dirty Laundry is phenomenal.
It is amazing.
Dirty Laundry is really cool. And
now I
this
don't
iteration
know whether or not I should get Punisher War Journal, Punisher Max, the Nathan Edmondson Punisher.
Here's the thing: you can't go wrong.
The Edmondson Punisher is probably cheaper, so go.
And everything I've heard about War Journal is good, and I've heard that War Journal is what basically inspired the Tom Jane movie.
Yes.
The Tom Jane one actually lifted a lot from the Ennis
yes,
Marvel
that's what I
run.
just told.
Yeah.
That's what my friend Joe. My friend Joe from Movie Dumps told. He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, the Tom Jane version is a lot from Garth Ennis' run.
Yeah.
Also, the Russian, all that. Yeah.
And it's weird. The first Punisher movie is actually a big, like, there's several weird homages to Mad Max.
Yeah, there are. Because the characters
very, very direct visual references to Mad Max. Like, the way his family dies in Mad Max is it's a carbon copy of the way it happens.
They're both takes on Death Wish, so they're both drawing from the not source material, but they're both responding to the same thing.
Yeah, and Punisher kills Howard Saint's other son in a similar way he kills what's-his-face in the end of Mad Max, where he handcuffs him to the car and he says, you can saw through that chain in about 10 minutes or your ankle in about 2, walks away, and then in Punisher he says, you're a strong kid, I bet you lift, here, hold this for a while, and he hands him the explosive and ties it up.
Yeah.
God, I love that. I love that, like, his version is Mad Max, and, like, the...
Oh, God. Man, I'm tempted to buy Max.
You should. The John Bernthal one is Taxi Driver, and that's what they were going for. And I love that. I love when they take specific inspirations.
And you haven't seen Warzone yet, but Warzone... Is there a little bit of Max in there, or did Max come out before or after Warzone?
When did Warzone come out?
2008, 2009?
Sounds right.
It sounds about right.
Because his design it's Ray Stevenson from Rome. And he's got the he's got the slick backed hair, bald. He's a bit beefier, like he's a bigger dude. He's way quieter. And Ray Stevenson actually looked the most like what I envisioned the Punisher to be out of anybody else who's done so far. John Bernthal works, but Ray Stevenson has this look like his face has seen 200 years of shit.
And now,
Punisher Max started coming out in 2004, so they totally took from that.
Also, the game lifted from Goodbye Frank.
Yeah.
Or not Goodbye Frank. Well, I'm back Frank.
Yeah, Punisher Warzone, people who say it's terrible, it's really not. It's an absolute riot. Because it takes the violence and completely, like, it blows it over the top to the point where it's ridiculous and hilarious. Right. Jigsaw's origin in the movie is not just like, oh, I got thrown through a window. He gets dropped into a bottle grinding unit. And is just slowly mashed up with broken glass for what feels like 10 minutes. And the whole time he's going, fuck you, Castle! Fuck you, Castle!
Yeah.
He's so mad.
Dominic West in that movie, I don't...
And, like, there's no cutaways. Like, you see, like, it keeps spinning, and you kind of see him pass by this little window, and each time he passes, there's just more blood.
Oh yeah, no.
It's disgusting, but it's fantastic. And when he gets his surgery done, they kind of reference Batman, where he's like, Mira. And like he takes off his fucking bandages. And the plastic surgeon's telling him, he's like, I didn't have much to work with. He's like, I had to give you a horse eye. And he's like, what did you say to me? He's like, I had to give you a horse eye. And he looks in the mirror and he tells his friends to leave. And they come back a few minutes later and fucking Jigsaw has stabbed this plastic surgeon with every piece of metal he has available to him.
Isn't a character in Warzone in the film, isn't one of them a cannibal or something?
Looney Bin Jim, his brother.
Yeah.
Looney Bin Jim also steals a movie. I want my applesauce. Give it to me now.
I want my applesauce.
My applesauce.
I can't wait to do this on the show.
It is amazing.
God,
It's
I think I
yeah,
need to watch this tomorrow.
The trailer looks good. The CIA guy looks like a cool villain. Because that's what Netflix is good at.
Yeah,
yeah.
and like isn't Micro's in this?
Yeah, and it looks like Karen Page is showing up.
It does.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I'm cool with that. I actually would have preferred she hadn't, just because, like. But
here's my whole thing with that is that I think they kind of need her because, like, they kind of set up that
she is the connective tissue between Frank and that universe.
Yeah,
and, like,
He's also the one who took more of an interest in his life and basically kind of uncovers his whole story.
yeah.
I'm getting more into that with the stuff, mostly with the episodes I've been watching.
He's kind of dickish to her later on, but he knows he's being dickish, and she's like, "You're an asshole." He's like, "You're absolutely right. Now get out of here before you get hurt."
Yeah, I did like their stuff in that season. It's just like I kind of just wanted the Punisher, but I get why you have her in there as like a foil to him.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
Well, they need someone like her to humanize him too, because I mean, it's as much as people like the idea of the Punisher, like having 13 episodes of just this man killing people wantonly. You can't do a show about a sociopath.
In Daredevil season 2 of the Punisher, their answers would probably be the rooftop sequence where it's just a conversation, or the courtroom sequence. The third option is a prison scene where he murders 6 people in a few minutes. But the
and then they reuse that prison later.
Shit. Yes, they do. Over and over again.
It's the same exact prison from Luke Cage.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing.
But then again, it's all the same city, so it's probably the same prison.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm excited. And I do hope it is, like, I hope they take some from the Thomas Jane movie, because, like, he doesn't kill that many people in that movie. No. A lot of that movie is him
set up,
slowly behind the scenes. Yeah, like
he's setting up the ultimate revenge against someone who killed his entire family, his entire extended family.
Yeah, they killed
everyone. He's just slowly doing it. He's just slowly unraveling his world.
And I love the fact that he makes his enemy take out his allies.
Mm-hmm.
He turns Howard Saint on everyone close to him.
Oh yeah.
What happened to Ma?
So
she took a bus. Oh no, she took a train.
She took a train. I love the entire story. Like, he's like, you were fucking him. She's like, he was gay.
You just can't believe that.
He drops her off the fucking bridge anyway.
And he gets into his house and he's just like kicking his furniture before he kills him.
I think Travolta is fantastic in the movie. He's gross. Like, when he sees his dead son the first time, like, he kisses his corpse and leaves without a word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really weird.
And then, like, at the end, when Thomas Jane has him attached to the car, and he's like, you killed my son. He's like, both of them. And he throws the picture of him. He's like, I made you kill your wife. I made you kill your best friend. And, like, Travolta's character, like Howard Saint, doesn't say anything. He just goes, and just, like, surrenders to the fucking, the moment, and just, like, I'm going to die, and this is it.
Mm-hmm.
He has nothing to say because he's been so profoundly beaten.
Yeah.
And he has the most exaggerated, overdone, explosively amazing death in the history of films.
Yeah.
He's blown up in a parking lot with about 50 other cars. God, that movie's such a good pyrotechnic show, especially the end. He stabs a dude under the chin with a knife. And you can see it in his teeth. So good. I can't wait for more Punisher. Please give it to me.
Was that Roy Scheider's last movie?
Oh God.
It actually might have been.
I mean, that's a good one to go out on.
Not his last, then one of his last, easily.
Wasn't his last thing the Three Kings episode of Family Guy?
Possibly, I think so.
with him.
Yeah.
And
Roy Scheider goes out like Punisher too. He's like, I got guns, let's use them.
Yeah. God, I can't wait to do that one. So many Punisher things to do.
I don't want to. I prefer if we never watch the Dolph Lundgren one, to be honest.
It's
not that great, and it's kind of hokey, and like they were like, let's not use the skull logo because that's too comic booky. I'm like,
here's the
fuck
thing.
You.
So I'm gonna we kind of discussed this in the chat, but I'll just say it on here. If they don't use the logo, we won't watch it. That's I feel like that's a solid rule to go by.
I think if there's a movie that's based in a comic and they abandon the source material so much to the point where it's unrecognizable, there's no point in watching it because it's at that point it's not what we're looking for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like the X-Men movies came dangerously close in the first one. Like we're gonna put them all in black leather.
But their belts have X's on them, and that's enough for me. And his name is still Professor Xavier.
Yeah.
And they don't shy away from saying X-Men.
Like I think the Fantastic Four reboot is so dangerously close to not being a Fantastic Four movie that it's scary. It's almost, and the problem with that movie is that if it wasn't a Fantastic Four movie, it'd probably be pretty fucking good.
We're still watching it though. You're not.
We are watching it because I can't wait to dissect those movies that exist as one.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about the what.
Can we still do the 3 comic book inspired, or the 3 comic book bootleg universe one shots?
You mean what? Dirty Laundry,
Truth and Journalism, and Super Friend?
Truth and Journalism is the Venom one, right?
Yeah.
We can talk about those shorts. We should do a whole episode just about shorts. But we're specifically talking about movies now, like movies.
Yeah, okay, wait a minute. There's a Venom short.
It's not good at all. It's very hokey and cheap.
Yeah.
And
what is Super Friend?
I
don't know Super Friend. But it's
it's an animation in the form of a violent Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, and the Venom one is filmed as a found footage movie, and like you don't really know. It's like Dirty Laundry. You're like, is this a Punisher movie?
Hunter, have you ever seen Man Bites Dog?
That's exactly what I was thinking of, Arlen.
Man Bites Dog? What's that?
It's about this like journalist who follows around a serial killer, and like the movie takes a turn where like you see the serial killer kill people, and the journalist is still following him around, and you're like worried about whether or not the serial killer is going to turn on him.
It's documentarians following serial killer.
The journalist is Eddie Brock.
Yeah. I can't remember if it's
the problem is it's boring as fuck.
That
and
is
like
awful.
The ending is it's not that great because it takes forever to get to you're like, is this a Venom or is this something else?
Well, I do like that they don't give it away. I like that part, but it just goes on for way too long.
It's at least better than that fucking Reverse Flash fan film I found recently. That was so bad it hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
It was so, and like the page I followed, the Reverse Flashes. It's like a little fan page for like Reverse Flash, Zoom, fucking inertia, all that shit. They shared. They're like, this isn't too bad, and I watched it. I was like, you betrayed me.
Why would you do this?
You betrayed us. Bad. It's like. The acting's terrible. The suits look terrible, but that's a fan film. That comes in. But like, they're like, let's make Reverse Flash a tragic lover. I'm like, fuck you till Sunday. No.
Ew. Grossest hearing that.
And like, the initial meetup with him and Barry is like nauseating. He's like, wow, the Flash. I'm a big fan. I'm like, stop it. Stop it. Eobard is not stable. Please stop it.
Please stop this.
He was never this happy. He's a miserable human being, and that's why he became who he is. I would love to do a whole episode in shorts. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
But I don't have much to say about Punisher or Redeemable or Irredeemable. I think we can close. It's been a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. A little under 2 hours. It's
wow.
Well, I mean, we were off for like half an hour before we started too.
Exactly.
So
we had to get the warm-ups.
We are getting close to the 1 hour 45 minute mark.
This is longer than the review we did for Suburban Commando on Movie Dumpster. By the way, that was a miserable time.
Did you talk about the dog, the good boy dog who gets thrown into the water or whatever? Or is that the right movie?
That wasn't the same movie. He does catapult a cat to its death, though.
What?
No, okay? That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the little goes up and she's like, "My cat's in the tree," and he like just bends the branch down because he's fucking Hulk Hogan. He's massive. And she's like, "That's not my cat," and he's like, "Oh well, whatever, brother." And then he launches the fucking cat into the air.
There's a movie where in the background you see a man throw an animal into a river, and it's not like planned. It's just like an extra throwing an animal into the river.
I'll have to look this up then. Because if that's in Suburban Commando, I'm going to be pissed that we didn't talk about it.
That's how it was on a How Did This Get Made episode. I can't remember what movie it is.
And like Suburban Commando is just like it's a comedy that's so painfully unfunny.
I don't know why Undertaker was in that.
He's uncredited. That's the crazy part. He's uncredited, has no speaking roles, and is just there to look bad. He's just there to look intimidating.
But wouldn't he have been like weird biker Undertaker at the time though?
No. Like, this was Dead Man.
This was early '90s. He was just barely the Dead Man.
Right. Like he still
had his weird mullet, and he was still kind of chunky. Like he wasn't fit yet.
And but he wasn't. And he wasn't the whole like I'm undead, raised from hell thing.
Oh no, that's what he started as. The biker came in like the early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah, 2000s,
late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. No, it was the Dippy's biker taker was 2000.
Okay.
Wow, so defeeted.
I'm challenging on this.
Fine,
I haven't been watching.
I'll submit to you.
I unsubbed from the W Network, and I'm not going till Jinder's gone.
Same here. But I think we can wrap up on all that.
Maybe he's the one that made me vomit tonight.
Yeah.
Because he was there, apparently.
Yeah. Ugh.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hunter, did you not know so tonight, there's a long story I won't tell. I was working and I threw up, so yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember that part where I was like, that I kind of put together
I was working.
Where you worked, and
I was working WWE. Yeah.
I can't verify that Ginger made you vomit, but I'm gonna tell people that that's what happened. Yeah. That way I can reinforce the fact that he is the worst thing going in any business anywhere on Earth.
And he's a terrible human being.
Well, that's not his.
It's Mr. Nanny. So wrong. So when you do Mr. Nanny.
Yeah. I don't think we will because the experience with Suburban Commando was like you can hear in our voices like we got excited over like Equilibrium and stuff like that. You can hear in our voices we're like we didn't want to fucking watch this.
So does that mean you're not going to cover Tropic Thunder then either?
I forgot that movie existed.
Wait. The comedy?
Oh no! What's the one where? No, what was Tropic Thunder? Not Tropic Thunder. Damn it! The one where they were
Thunder.
You mean the Three Ninjas sequel?
No, there's the one with. I thought there was Hulk Hogan and there was some sort of power boat and whatnot. I can't remember the exact movie.
For fuck's sake! No, stop!
There's so many movies that could be.
Talking about Days of Thunder.
I refuse.
No, Days of Thunder is about race cars.
Is it really?
Wait, are you talking about his TV show Thunder in Paradise?
That's it, Thunder.
Oh, for God's sake! Like we're not watching. I'm gonna put a stamp on the fact that we're not watching fucking. What is that shitty ass fucking wrestling movie with Hulk Hogan? No Holds Barred. I'm not watching this Nanny.
Tiny Zeus Lester.
I don't care.
I just sent the picture with the
Dark
dog.
Knight has Tiny Zeus Lester. I'll watch that.
That's true. It does. And he's a pretty good part in that film.
Yes.
Why is he in that?
There's a weird theory that character is Nolan's interpretation of Max.
Oh God.
Oh
yeah.
Oh man.
Which is like an interesting piece of trivia if it's true, because it's just like, hey, here's Maxi Zeus. He's here. Like he has no effect in the plot, so really he can be whoever he wants. But like, I mean, he does, but he doesn't.
Okay, I think you were in the middle of plugs. Sorry.
Yeah. We do this too often. I'm Connor McGraw. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm going to become more active as soon as some more stuff gets off the ground. Shadow Zone is written. It is actually written.
Oh.
It's done.
It exists.
And episode 1 will be on Japanese Unit 1, the Human Experimentation Unit during World War II. It's really fascinating stuff.
Oh.
It's also very graphic.
Oh.
So if you're sensitive and you're looking forward to this, just be careful. That's all I'm going to say. But you can follow me on Twitter at Western Commander. Please make sure you're in the Phantom Zone group. Fucking listen to Video Game Hour. Movie Dumpster should be launching probably as a bulk thing because we have 6 episodes recorded. We're going on 7 and 8 soon, I think. We're going to be watching the slasher movie Venom, which is looking bad.
I've seen that movie before.
It's really bad.
It is bad.
I hated every minute of it, and it'll be fun to talk about because I especially get excited about things I detest. On to the next person. That was a lot to say.
Okay, you can follow me on Twitter at AAHaro. Just watch out for me talking to people that aren't there and all kinds of stuff. I'm talking about throwing up at a wrestling thing, so yay.
You can Follow me. You can follow me on Twitter. You can find Sent Into Madness on Twitter.
Yes.
At Davenport. You can find my writing on the Haro. You can look forward to something that's coming very, very soon, like next year, that I have a very big part in. So look at that.
Yeah. Alan?
That was a carryover from Big
You
Hour.
fucking planned this.
I had two of them. Just in case the first one, there was a mishap.
Oh man, I applaud
You
you.
can
Alan,
follow me
you're
on
fired.
Twitter at Broken Alan Muir. Not broken with an E, broken with a P. Because I'm feeling
yeah.
very sporty.
That's some David Fincher shit right there.
I'm echoing Hunter's statement about wanting to crawl the internet and beat you up.
Yeah.
Unworthy honor is taken.
And Eric.
I'm like normal. I'm somewhere on the Phantom Zone, and I'd also like to plug my newest business. It's called the Bionic Redneck Wedding Chapel, where we're going to marry you like the styles of Steve Austin would. So you can come on down. We're going to crack cold one over you, and that's the bottom line.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Is this a real thing?
No, not at all.
I'm infinitely disappointed. I'm so upset this isn't real.
We would all support in this, and I hate wrestling.
My favorite part about that is it is both a Bionic $1 Million Man reference and a Stone Cold Steve Austin reference.
Yes.
There we go.
Well, he called himself the Bionic Redneck for the longest time
Yeah.
when he had the
Oh
leg
shit,
brace
that's
on.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also when he turned heel, he was Bionic Redneck. So, Eric is also just our average citizen member. So
He's our man on the street.
he is.
Yeah.
Something like that.
He's that dude in fucking what is it? Kingdom Come that the Spectre picks up. He's like, all this shit.
Yeah. And if Eric's not, if he's not afraid to keep up with CW all season, he can be on some episodes with us. We understand if you don't.
I'm very interested to see how see your thoughts on like all this stuff when it comes out. It comes out soon, doesn't it? Next week?
Yeah, like next week is our first episode with CW back, so
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
We finished.
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
All right.
Yeah, no. It shouldn't be that bad.
I'm gonna try to get more people all on for the CW stuff. Maybe Mark, Andy, other people. Maybe Isaiah. Why not?
Yeah.
I hope I'm saying his name right. His name is fucking impossible to spell.
He is
Yeah.
It's a very interesting name. I like saying it. I think it's,
Yes, and it doesn't help. There's two people who frequent both groups that are named Isaiahs
yeah.
with very similar last names. So, hey, that's been our show. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Oh, good night.
Bye.
Fuck X-Men Apocalypse.
See you, everybody.
Peace.
Fuck the puck.